What's up? I'm Justin Struving, this is Ryan Wilburn, and Scott Bourne, and today we're going to show you how to build a quarter pipe.
The quarter pipe we're going to be building today is going to be 4 foot tall with 6 foot transitions, and it's going to be 8 foot wide. Here's a list of all the things you're going to need today. Approximately 12 to 15 8 foot 2x4s, 4 sheets of a 1/2 inch 4x8 plywood, 2 sheets of 4x8 masonite, 3 sheets of 3/4 inch 4x8 plywood, 1 8 foot piece of steel coping, 100 assorted nails or screws. We recommend that you screw everything you do together. An electric skill saw and a jigsaw. An electric drill, a marker. If you're going to use nails, you're going to need a hammer, a tape measure, and a rope or a string long enough to draw all your trannies. What we're doing now is we're tracing the transition. What we did is we put both our pieces of plywood. This is the 3/4 inch, the thicker stuff. Put it together. We pulled a tape measurement from this corner right here to here to 6 foot because we're doing a 6 foot transition. Is we tied a string to a marker and then pulled the string to our 6 foot transition mark. Ryan's going to draw it out, and that'll give us our transition for our quarter pipe. All right, we're going to be cutting the transition now. Generally, I like to start at this end just because after you cut past this point, this is kind of brittle. Someone can hold it after you pass this point so it doesn't fall and break. We just finished cutting this one out. What we do is just lay it on top of the old one. The first one we cut, trace it again. That way your transitions will be identical. Same process, cut it out. Then we'll go to the next step.
Okay, now that we cut the templates out, together these templates make 1.5 inches. We're going to cut down these 2x4s here, and we're going to cut 2 inches off, but we're doing 2 inches just to leave any room for air. So that's what Ryan's going to show you right now.
Okay, now we're going to start with the ribs. And we're going to start with the back part here first because it's going to keep us stabilized and it's going to keep us square for when we start doing the middle ribs.
When you put your first 2x4 in at the bottom of the ramp, it should be laid horizontal. You want it to come all the way down where it touches the ground, so it helps if you put a block of wood underneath it. Okay, what we need to do next is make a proper support where our seam of our plywood is going to be. So what we do is just pull a measurement down. It's going to be 4 foot because our plywood's 4 foot. Then we'll make a mark. What we do is we get the 2x4 in the center of a mark we just made, screw it in. This 2x4 is going to be the only 2x4 that's laid horizontal, and what we're going to do is come back and put one vertically under it. The reason for doing that is we're going to have the seam for plywood meeting up there, and we want it to be extra strong.
Okay, now we're going to make a bed for our coping, and today we're working with 2-inch coping. So we're going to measure 1 inch down from the face and make a mark. And we're going to measure 1 inch back from the top and make a mark. And that's where we're going to place our 2x4s.
What we're going to do next is just cut this little notch out right here so our coping will fit snugly in and go to the edge of our riding surface and our platform. Okay, what we're doing now is we're just going to throw the coping in there so we can kind of get an idea of how it's going to meet up to the plywood on the front, the riding surface, and the platform. The reason we put it in now is just to get an idea. We don't want to fasten it down until the last thing. It's the very last thing because everybody likes their coping different. What we're doing next is these guys just lifted up the plywood. You guys are going to put some weight on here. I'm gonna make some marks where the 2x4s are at. Then what we want to do is get a line of screws across the top so it's fastened in. Then we'll put pressure on it and screw everything down. What we want to do next is cut the bottom board. So we just lay it on there first of all.
See where it hits the ground.
See where it hits the ground at, and then we're gonna make a mark and draw a line, cut it here. If you look right here, you can see where the plywood's at. So we're gonna make our mark right here on both sides. Then we'll pull a line across, cut it, put it on just like the last board. When you put your second layer down, you should bring it out a couple inches further than your first layer. And then when you put down your final riding surface, put it down a few more inches further. On the top here, we're going to put a couple screws in there just a little bit longer. That way we'll make sure we get through all the plies. The final surface is important. You want to hit your studs, you want everything to hit, you want your ramp to last.
Okay, so like before, we're bringing the masonite a little bit further down. You don't want to give it too much room because if we left all this on there and when it hit the bad weather, it would flap up and we don't want that. So what we're going to do is get a straight edge and cut it across here.
All right, we come to the last two steps, two of the most important steps. Placing the coping and putting the platform on.
Gonna put another 2x4 up against the back here. There's a lot of pressure goes on right here. So we're just gonna reinforce the platform.
We're gonna place our coping in our coping bed like so, with the holes facing downward. And then we're gonna take the piece we've cut for our platform, lay it on like so. And this is why you don't drill the coping in until the last. So you're still able to mess with it, pull it out if you want, check it, make sure it's sticking out the way you want it to, and then when you've got everything looking perfect like you want it, then you drill it into place.
Last thing you need to do now is screw down the coping. There's one on each end, one in the middle. Get your longer screws, fasten it down so it'll be tight.
You guys building a ramp in here or something? Does need any help over here?
Yeah, we got a screw left.
Yeah? Oh, you guys are done? Shit, let's rip this thing.
Sure, it's pretty.
Yeah?
Put the last screw in.
Yeah. This thing looks good, guys. Good work. Good work.
All right, there you have it. That's how you build a quarter pipe. This is going to definitely help you if you want to build a half pipe mini ramp in the near future. This is going to help you. It's also going to help you with your training skills, pools, skate parks. So get to building and go out and skate.
Here's a list of all the things you're going to need today. You're going to need an electric jigsaw and a skill saw. 4 sheets of 1/2 inch 4x8 plywood. 2 sheets of 4x8 mason.
Go? Okay. Hello, I'm Jason Adams and welcome to the first ever Thrasher Magazine How-To Ramp Plans. Let me try that one again.
What the? Who is this? See, he always comes by when the job's done.
You guys been taking all day. Let's go skate.
The same way that you guys did. Okay.
So what's with the black arm, Scott? What's that all about?
Well, it turns out.
The next thing we need to do is drill the holes in the angle iron. I can't even say it. Okay, keep it rolling.
Another guy holds the other end with a marker, and what we do is just trace it all the way around That'll give you your first template, first transition. If our pin worked, but it turns out Ryan didn't take the cap off. All right, today we're gonna show you guys how to build this quarter pipe right here. It's gonna be 4 foot high with 6 foot transitions, 8 foot wide, and yeah. What else is there? Is there something else to say? Should I do the list after that?
What am I saying?
Pi r squared to the 5th reciprocal of x will give you a quarter pipe.
Yeah.
Rockstar Games presents Thrasher, Skate and Destroy. Out now. The real spots, the real tricks, all the moves. 12 levels, 7 multiplayer games. The real sponsors, all the sponsors. We got the soundtrack. You can't do this in any other game, y'all. Available for your PlayStation. Buy it now.